cried in front of 1,000 people before. I hope I don't do it now. I came up to Ramsey in 1979. I had been a teacher, basketball coach for 10 years. At that time, Lou Molino was a math teacher, cross-country coach. He became my friend very rapidly. 2 years later, he became my boss and my friend. You have to understand, back in 1981, when Lou became the AD, he wasn't Lou Molino. At least not the Lou Molino most of you know right now. He was just a guy who tried to control a bunch of coaches who pretty much had their way, a veteran group of coaches. John Ponchak in baseball, Rich Leo, followed very shortly by Steve Hyman in football, and his assistants, Tony Kemps and Rick Cleary, that are here now. Mary Jane Bainbridge in volleyball, Ray Wademeyer, who came on in track, Tom Melville, who was still an assistant, you were, right? He was still an assistant track coach. Lou. Point is, he wasn't Lou Molino. He did something that I thought was very, very intelligent. He kind of let us have our own way. He didn't come in with a my way or the highway type of attitude. You know, most of the talk here today has been about Lou Molino and track. Well, I knew Lou Molino was a friend and an AD. Okay? The thing he did best, as I just said, was kind of let us all run our own program. If we needed him, he was there. I can't tell you how many times Lou said no to something and then figured out a way to do it. I mean, he had so many great strengths, and everybody in here has a Lou Molino story, or 2 or 3. And when someone passes away, it's kind of a very common thing to overstate. And I don't mean that negatively, but we all accentuate the positive and eliminate or at least minimize the negative. With Lou, we still understate all the good things. No matter who says what here today, and we've sat for an hour and a half and listened to story after story, we still haven't touched the surface of all the things he did. The future. Let me spend a minute on that. You guys are still in this school. I'm out of here 7 years. Teachers. It's going to be different. Very different. Someday, pretty soon, you're going to have a new AD. He or she may be great, but it's not going to be Lou. Everyone who knows that. How many of the coaches in this building have walked in that office, sat in the chair, listened to Lou on one phone, Chris Gritz on the other phone, Lou telling Chris what she should be saying and listening to, some boy or girl sitting there getting a math lesson, and you sitting in the chair and him telling you why you can't play Demarest on Saturday or something. One of the things that everybody admires things about other people. 2 things I admired about Lou, well, a lot of things I admired about Lou. Okay, one, his ability to multitask. As been said here. I've never met anybody who comes close. Second thing, his ability to heap praise on other people. Lou always gave credit. And he did his best to stand in the corner and let you bask in it. Okay, I was a recipient of that a few times. I also have to take a quick sideline here. I'm not sure anybody, and maybe somebody would argue this, I'm not sure anybody argued with Lou any more than I did. All right? We got to the point where we agreed on things and still sounded like we were arguing. It was just a dynamic, and, you know, and once in a while he was actually right. Okay, so I have to give him credit. All right? Those 2 things I admired about him. Look, Janet, no matter what anybody says today, it isn't going to make you feel a heck of a lot better. Okay? But we all love Lou and cared about him. Now, Dr. Monsanto told me that this is it, I'm the last speaker. I'm going to get some audience participation here. We're going to end this in a little bit of a different way. At 2:19 this morning, when I looked at my clock, I realized something. Lou has, in his 48 years at Ramsey, seen a lot of great individual performances in athletics and a lot of great team